He came along and Dan showed me how to do it. So thank you, Dan. Everybody give another round of applause for Dan. So I'm gonna be quick. I know, how about this? Everybody kind of stand up for a second. Let's kind of stretch out here. Let's wake up. Let's wake up. Say hi to 2 people. Shake hands with 2 people. It's like church. Peace be with you, and also with you. All right, now sit back down. All right, so I need that keyboard. The keyboard? Thank you. Just get that keyboard, thank you. So this next topic, who's using social media, who's building a brand on social media, who's putting out content, who's using social media for their business? I think we're all on social media for like our personal lives at this point, even if you're not so active. Who's using it for their business by the show of hands? Okay, most of the room. Who feels like they can do more on social media to help with their business? Most of the room, okay. So I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna show you a bunch of things, but we're gonna talk about social media. But before I do that, just to kind of double down on why social media is important. Through social media over my decade career so far, I can directly tie $1 billion worth of loan volume to social media. That doesn't mean clients reaching out to me and saying, hey, I wanna buy a house. There's a lot of things within that. But that goes down to loan officers that we've brought on. That goes to referral partners that we've met through social media. That goes to stuff like this, like promoting events. Like, how many of you went to brewery a few months ago? Okay. Has anybody went to winery before? So when you see 400 people in one room, that's not possible without social media, okay? When we have done $1 billion worth of loan volume, that's not possible without social media. I had no industry connections. My dad's a paramedic. My mom is an office manager, was an office manager at a printing company. I had nobody in real estate. There was no connections, didn't know what a mortgage was when I first started. But through social media and building a brand, we built a successful business and now company. Built powerful referral networks, without cold calling. So how many of you receive cold calls from loan officers? Like, hey, what's the pitch? I don't even know what the pitch is. Like, hey, let's grab coffee. Yeah, let's grab coffee. So I never did that, ever. I've never cold called once in my whole entire career as far as realtors go. It's inauthentic. I'm not a, yeah. It's inauthentic. It's also like a numbers game. It's not really how I built my business, but it was all through social media. Whoa. My top referral partner. So he actually reached out to me and said, can I come to your office? And we've done 100+ deals together. That's how powerful this stuff is. Now I know that doesn't really, that doesn't really tie to what you guys do. However, you guys kind of get the point, right? So, when I start speaking about social media, there's like 2 types of people. There's like the one person that's like, okay, yes, I got it, I do it currently, and I'm gonna learn some more from you. And then there's the other type of person that's like, ugh, I don't really wanna do that. So, that's fine. You don't need to. I know tons of real estate agents that have built successful real estate businesses without social media. But here's why you should. So obviously you can get new clients from it. Has anybody got a buyer, like a cold buyer? Not like, oh, my cousin told me to follow you and now I've been following you for a year and now I'm reaching out to you. Not that. Has anybody got like a straight up, like, I'm looking to buy a house? Awesome, right? Or I'm looking to sell a house? Awesome. Okay. That's probably what everybody's shooting for on social media, but it's actually the least likely. Okay? There's other things on this list that are reasons why you should put time into social media. Number 2 is people looking you up. So they got referred to you. And I know for me, like when I want to look up a place to eat, what do? Read reviews, and then if I like narrow it down to like 2-3 spots, I'm checking Instagram. What does the food look like? Right? Same thing happens with you guys. Promise you. Whether it's a Zillow lead, a cold call, a referral, they might look up, and now with your phone number connected to your social media, it may even pop up. You want people to be impressed with what they see. So this is the whole digital storefront kind of topic. Like you want your storefront to look nice, right? So that's the second reason why you should put time into social media. Third thing is stay in front of past clients. This one, people don't realize this. With my TikTok, I haven't posted on TikTok ever since they announced that they may take it away. So my TikTok, I'm not a TikTok person. It doesn't match my style. We'll go into all the different platforms. However, I tied my phone number to my TikTok, and I would say half of my followers on TikTok are my past clients, because they're just scrolling through and it's like recommended, people you may know, in your contacts. Social media is a great way to stay in touch with your past clients, okay? Stay in front of your sphere. So this is friends, family. You need to constantly show up and remind people of what you do. How many of us had a family member that listed their house with somebody else? It's like, oh, you still do that real estate thing? Like, oh, there's no, now listen, your family may still list with somebody else, unfortunately. This is a cold world, but social media allows you to continually show up for your sphere, okay? Last but not, or second to last, people buy brands before products or services. So whether it's Suit Supply, Aritzia, somebody Dan just mentioned, he pretends like he's not into female fashion, but clearly he knows a few things about it. But people buy brands. We all understand that. Between the shoes we wear, the cars we drive, the watches we buy, people respect brands. And last but not least, it makes every other money-making activity more productive. So what's a form of prospecting you guys do? Devin?
Circle prospecting.
Circle prospecting, okay. And that's when you have a target property, and whether you just sold it or just listed it, you kind of farm that area and leverage that opportunity to create another opportunity, right? So you could do door knocking, mailing, cold calls, just all centered around that property, circle prospecting. Imagine after every cold call you were like, hey, I know you're not looking to sell, I'm just reaching out to you. I'm gonna share you my Instagram. Are you on social media? Whatever. End every phone call with like, here's my business card. Here's my social media, follow me. Same thing with door knocking. It's like that weird, sketchy, awkward, like you're standing there, you don't know what to do with your hands, and they open the door and they got like, marinara sauce on their tank top, and they're like, I'm not really looking to sell, but it's like, cool man, no problem. Here's my card. I also put out a lot of content on social media. It's educational stuff. Follow me if you'd like. Don't you think that's gonna make your door knocking and cold calling and circle prospecting and your mailers and everything just more productive? It's a necessity now. It's not about the first one. It's not about the first one. And that's oftentimes why people will get burnt out with social media, is they're looking for the first one and they don't get it and they're like, this is dumb. Your goal is wrong, okay? So those are the reasons why. Now, what we're going to cover in this presentation, we're going to talk about each platform. We're going to talk about how to optimize our profiles, or that digital storefront that I referenced. We're going to go through a quick brand exercise, although you're not going to do it today. I'm going to actually, at the end of this presentation, you'll see my email. If you email me, I have like 3 or 4 giveaways from this presentation that'll help you take this information a little bit further. So brand exercise is one of them. I have a thing put together to help you guys. We're going to go over different types of content, your content plan, the how, scripting, content, and engagement. So let's keep it moving. So understanding of platforms. So I have 6 here. There's probably more now. I can't go back. Uh-oh. Hello? The keyboard. It's a little dusty too. Okay. Yeah, can you just hit back? Like 3? Why don't you exit it and then go back into it? Oh, okay. It's not working. Oh, there we go. Go to this one, number 5. All right, hopefully this works. All right, so there's a few different platforms. We're all familiar with them at this point. I always kind of look at the platforms like they all have a different ethos. Like they all have different kind of feel about them. The classic way to explain this is, have you ever seen the meme where it's like you have your Facebook profile picture and then your Instagram profile picture and then your Tinder profile picture, and it's like completely different personalities? You got to understand that a little bit. Now, what I will say is, and it says it right here, you don't have to do all of them at once. Start with 1 or 2. Okay, so don't get lost in the 6 different platforms that I'm going to talk about quickly. Pick 2. Pick 1. Start somewhere, okay? But just to go over each platform, Facebook, they all have different features and then different kind of ethos behind them, and then why, and then each of them have something or reasons why it matters, okay? So if you have Facebook, you have written posts, recommendations, meaning like what's very popular on Facebook is like, I need help finding a hotel in Tulum, and you'll get frickin' 50 comments, okay? That's what people go to Facebook for. Written posts, obviously, writing stuff out, you can't really do that on Instagram or YouTube. And then you have photos, videos, and groups. I've told many, many, many real estate agents, you should all have a Facebook group. You should have 2, actually. One is like a catch-all, let's say it's Searching Sayville, okay? You can join other groups as well if you don't want to create your own like this, but Searching Sayville, Beautiful Baldwin, and create and host a group where you just invite a bunch of people into there and people put stuff and you create, and you, the thing about hosting versus just attending, you have some lower leverage, you have some authority, just like this event, right? This is why we do these things. You can do that online with Facebook groups. That's why I believe Facebook is an incredible platform for real estate professionals. A lot of people think like, that's where old people are. But Facebook groups are very, very important. A lot of you are familiar with the moms groups across the same concept, okay? So more personal and conversational. The reason why it's more personal is because in order for people to see your stuff on Facebook, unless they're a part of the group, they need to be your friend. Right? They're not going to you're not going to stumble across a stranger's content. It's going to be friend-based. Your spheres, and that's why it says your sphere is already here. Use it to stay top of mind and build real trust. So back to staying on top of your sphere. That's a perfect way to stay in touch with your aunt and your uncle and Tia and Theo is Facebook. Okay. All right. Instagram. So you have the features. Reels, carousels, posts, stories, a lot of us are familiar with this stuff. Think when Instagram first came out, it was just pictures. I remember my first content strategy was I hired a photographer on a quarterly basis. I think I gave him like $5,000 for the year. And we would go to like 3 or 4 different spots and I would bring 3 or 4 different outfits. And Instagram was just pictures. And I would just create a little caption. It would be picture caption, right? But the way it was built is it's a very visual platform. So it's not about written word, although captions are actually powerful as well, but it's about that picture. It's aesthetic, right? Just understanding the ethos of each one. You have so visual first, use story to build real connection. So the stories is another feature where it's like kind of the behind the scenes feel. Reels to reach new people. So this is where kind of Instagram tried to copy TikTok, just like Instagram copied Snapchat with stories. That's why stories came out, because they were like, whoa, what's this thing, Snapchat? They're competing with us, and then they launched stories. Mark Zuckerberg is very good at that. He just sees little features and he's like, I'll just add it to our current platform. We already have all the people, threads. Anyway, Instagram became infinitely more powerful when you can use it, when it became interest-based, not follower-based. So for those of you who are just getting started, you don't have a ton of followers, and you're like, I wish I had more followers. Now you can go viral without having any followers because of Reels. Reels get posted, everybody sees it. That's powerful. This is where your brand becomes relatable. Consistency is key here. Next is LinkedIn, so written posts, images, and native videos. So this is all about credibility, value. This is where professionals come to learn, connect, grow. The good thing about LinkedIn, and this is an underutilized platform, especially for real estate agents, you have asset managers, you have divorce attorneys, you have other types of attorneys that can refer you business, and they're there. And guess what? They're looking to network. It's like, add to your network. It's like, that's why they're there. They're open, right? So LinkedIn is very powerful if you want to connect with those different types of professionals. Next, you have YouTube. So long form videos, obviously. Now YouTube tried to emulate TikTok and Instagram and launch shorts. Similar concept. Now the powerful thing about YouTube is it's a search engine. Because who owns YouTube? Google. You got to understand, it's one platform. When you Google how to tie your shoes, you see the video section that pops up? That's YouTube. Should I buy a house in Lynbrook? Lynbrook schools. You have a lot of out-of-state buyers that are doing research on YouTube and Google. Speaking to Nicole, what Nicole was talking about, I 100% agree. You shouldn't be, unless you're on the Zillow platforms doing leads, the best place to get a review is Google because of that SEO part. But you got to realize YouTube has that SEO part as well. Okay? So if you want to make educational content, if you want to make, touring the neighborhood content, we'll talk about different pillars in a second, YouTube is going to be the place to do that. And you need to post stuff there. And the good thing is when you record a long form piece of content, you can chop it up and repurpose it for other platforms as well. That's more geared towards short form. Cool. TikTok, kind of self-explanatory. Massive reach potential with the right content. A way to connect with the younger audience, obviously. But there's also older people on TikTok as well now. It's kind of wild, unless they're like super anti-China and they're like, no, China. There's a lot of those too. But those are great sellers because they want to get the hell out of New York because of their political views. So that's, you got to connect with people where they are. So podcasts, long form audio, interviews, solo episodes. No, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I see tons of real estate podcasts, tons of them. You're never going to build an audience with a podcast. That's where your current audience goes to learn more about you. They're not going to find you there. So don't start a podcast like, I'm going to build this audience. It's not going to happen. Nobody wants to listen to the Long Island Realtor speak with another Long Island Realtor about realtor stuff. Now, the good thing about it is it's a great way to network, and you can use that long form piece of content for other platforms. And if you are trying to build a national brand, like all of us have different goals. If your goal is to sell houses, podcasting and interviewing business owners is great. You're never going to get a client from it, but you're going to connect with that business owner. You're going to put them on a platform, make them feel good, and they're never going to forget about you, right? And hopefully they refer you. That's what you're going to get from a podcast. That's the goal, okay? How many of you listen to, like, are a regular avid listener to a local real estate podcast? Exactly. You may listen to Bigger Pockets. You may listen to, there's some popular real estate coaches where you may follow them and listen to their podcasts, but you knew about them before and you went to look for their podcast or they promoted your podcast, okay? So which one should I use? That's overwhelming. If you're just starting or if you're like, I want to do more, which one should I use? Start with the ones you're already familiar with. So if you're a podcast person, do it. If you're a YouTube person, do it. If you're a TikTok person, do it. Think because you know the platform, you're already active on it. It's going to be easier to post content there than to go learn a new thing. Okay? Profile optimization matters. Before you post content, make sure your house is in order. Your profile is your digital curb appeal. So a little real estate metaphor there. Your profile is your digital business card and storefront. Side note, which I kind of just spoke about, Google, Zillow, and other platforms that are also crucial to your online presence. So some of these things are not social media, but you should be thinking about it because when people Google your name, think about what pops up. If you all pulled out your phone right now and Googled Eric Braun, I'm 3 pages. It's just 3 pages of me. That's what you want to get to. Ask ChatGPT, who is Eric Braun, because I've done it, because I'm whatever. A narcissist? No, some would say, I'm just kidding. But that's, you want to build that online presence. People are going to look you up, okay? Oh shit. Can you start the PowerPoint again? My bad. But I will keep going. So we're going to talk about each platform individually. I know this isn't a great picture, but if you pull up Facebook while even I'm talking you through this, it's going to, hey, Giancarlo. I think that's his name. Giancarlo. Gian. All right, yeah, John, can you just click into that? Thank you. Appreciate it. So we're going to talk about each. I'm going to do Facebook. I did Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. The other ones we're not going to talk about today. Okay. These are I would say the big 3. And TikTok would be up there if I was a TikTok person. I'm just not. So the first thing about Facebook, just do a click slideshow at the top right, John. Hello? You got the mouse? There you go. Almost. There you go. Beautiful. All right. So here's what a Facebook profile looks like. There's a few different pieces. I had to make it 2 slides. But first you have your profile picture. Then you have your cover image. So profile picture, pretty self-explanatory. Pick something that they know it's you. It shouldn't be like, who is this when you do a friend request? Like there's 7 people in this profile picture. Which one is, you want it you, and very easily recognizable, okay? Cover image, so good for something you want to promote or just general branding. So I have our company's kind of banner that we created, but this is also good for like, if you want to promote an event, like every brewery, I do a brewery banner. So when people visit my profile, they see it. So banners are good for that stuff. The intro section, which is right here, this is good for like a mission statement. So I have, my mission is to remove average from real estate by adding value. Attention grabber, what I've always done since I was a kid is kind of ask myself, put my like any business that I went to or bought from, I would like put myself in the customer's shoes all the time. Same thing you want to do on social media or when you're a marketer is when people land on my profile, what do they see? Just ask yourself that and you'll optimize your profile. So the intro section is a good kind of gut punch, or it should be a good gut punch to kind of tell who you are and make people want to learn more. Similar to an Instagram bio, okay? Personal info, so you can put your relationship status, your school, location. That's personal preference. Some people don't like to share that, some people do. I like to put, or I would think it's good to put where you went to school just because you can create commonality with people. Like people that you never spoke to but went to the same school as them, can add them as a friend and they're like, oh, they also went to Southside. accept, right? And then last but not least, you have featured photos over here that you can't really see because it got cut off, but that's a good place to kind of just feature a few photos of you. Showcase your personal and professional life. Next, you have Instagram. So I can kind of do this by heart, I think. Okay. So you have your profile picture. Again, clearly you, very easy to identify. A lot of us mess this up, and it screws with your engagement, it screws with your profile discovery. If it's not like you, people, when they go to your page or when they get a notification because you like their post, they're not going to be apt to follow you or follow you back, right? Because like, who the hell is that? Scroll, you lost them. So profile picture, there's a few very, very important things with the Instagram profile. You obviously have your handle, which is like your @, that's your username, right? This is gonna be good, like, who wants to share their @? What's your, I keep picking on you because you're right here.
_RE.
Okay, so it's just first name, last name, _RE. Who wants to give me another one?
List with JP.
List with JP, perfect. Another one? I'm Elvis Regis, perfect, okay. So now there's another part of the profile, and this is where a lot of people miss. They miss the mark on this, where it's your name. It's called your name section, okay? What you have to understand is both your username and your name are searchable. So if somebody puts, I'm Elvis Regis. Give me another one.
Eduardo, Queens Real Estate.
Okay, that's good. Now, if I forgot your first name and I just put Ramirez, your handle isn't going to pop up. But if your name has Eduardo Ramirez, it will. So a lot of people mess this up. I'll give you a good example. Everybody know Mike Titino? So I would type in Mike Titino because I wanted to look at his Instagram for something or shoot him a DM, and he would never pop up because his name was not in his name, and his username is or was Safety First. So in order to find his profile, I would actually have to type in Safety First. Nothing popped up when I put his name. So just understand when you're doing your username and your name, it's searchable real estate. It's SEO optimized. So ideally, if your username doesn't say real estate in it or have realtor or have whatever, you want it in your name so that when somebody types in realtor or real estate, you also pop up. It's not just your first and last name _. If I typed in real estate, you wouldn't pop up unless you have it in your name. Does that make sense? Very important. Next, you have your bio. So ideally, you want something like authority. Like you want an authority statement, you want people, and this is where people get weird because you want to be humble, and I get that 100%. I try to toe that line, I think about that often. I know that like, ego for me, there's an acronym that stands for me it stands for edging God out. I know that when my head gets too big, I'm not close to God, I'm not the best I can be, and I'm very, very aware of that danger. So I'm actually scared to post my accomplishments sometimes or brag a little bit. But in your bio, there's something that needs to be like, oomph. If you've been in the business 30 years, put you've been in the business 30 years. If you've closed X amount of homes, put it there. I know it might not be your style, but you gotta think when people go to your profile, they're making a split, they're judging you immediately. Everybody says, oh, I'm not judgmental. When somebody follows you on Instagram and you are like, should I follow this person back? You're ripping them apart, whether you realize it or not. Do I like their content? Do I hate them? Why should I follow this person? The authority statement is going to be like, okay, respect. I'm gonna follow back, okay? So you want an authority statement. You also want location, especially for what you guys do, real estate. You can't sell houses in Florida. So some of you can, but, and I take that back because there's a lot of people moving to Florida or moving back or whatever, but you should think about putting real location in your bio. You have your highlights section here, so that's basically when you can take your story and permanently put it to your profile. That's a good way to kind of show off reviews and stuff like that. You'll see people commonly do. And then you have your pin posts. So a lot of people don't realize that you can pin your posts. So if there's a message that you want your new people to see, pin it. If a reel did really well and you want to show that you got 1 million views on something, pin it. Because guess what? When somebody goes to your profile and they're making the decision if they're going to follow back or if they're going to follow you at all, they're going to go to your first few posts, and that's going to be the thing that they make the decision on. Cool? Last but not least, you have LinkedIn, which very similar to Facebook. You have your banner, your profile picture. The one cool thing that I really like about LinkedIn is your About section, and people go in on this. Like, people write novels, and I think it's really cool to do so because on that platform, they are going to read that About section, okay? Moving on from profiles for the sake of time, let's do how to build a brand. So my favorite definition of brand, and I always say this, is Jeff Bezos. He said, brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Okay, so brand has been like a catchy, sort of trendy, what's another word? Buzzword for a while. All it is reputation. Somebody just recoined it brand, right? Now, brand also has like brand elements and what people feel, and like, you know, there's your logos and your colors. That's like the your brand elements, which is important because it communicates your brand and who you are. But at the end of the day, a brand is like who you are and how you make people feel and your reputation. Okay? Now, this is how I came up with my brand, not your average lender. Okay? I literally wrote this out. I think I learned it on YouTube or learned it on a podcast somewhere, or I just kind of sat down and was like, let me figure out this branding thing. But here are the questions that you can ask yourself. At the end of this presentation, you'll see my email, and I will send you a little worksheet to help you with this. But basically, you're going to ask yourselves who you are. So, like, who are you? Like, what kind of person are you? Are you funny? Social, or are you like serious and you're all about strategy and tactics? And so figure out who you are, right? What's your story? So how'd you get into real estate? That should be something that you repeat over and over and over again. A very common example of this is Alex Hormozy. Does anybody follow him? All of us can recite Alex Hormozy's full frickin' entrepreneurial career because he said it over and over and over again. You should do the same thing. If you're in the military, or you were in the military, you know, I was in the Army for 4 or 5 years. I got out, started in the restaurant business because I needed some quick cash. Somebody introduced me to mortgages. I fell in love with it. Like, that should be repeated over and over and over again. Same thing with all of you guys. So ask yourself, what's your story? Okay? Who are you talking to? Who's your target audience? Everybody, like, people miss the mark on this as well. Like, are you trying to make content for realtors? Or are you trying to make content for buyers, sellers, local people, etc.? The elusive thing about social media is it doesn't only help you with your business, it also gives you fake attention, and people get obsessed with it, and they lose the real reason why they actually started on social media. And we all are prone to that. A lot of us need to kind of reevaluate. I know I've done this multiple times in my journey, like, why am I putting out this video? Why am I doing this content? If you're not asking yourself who you're talking to, you're probably there's some other motives there for your social media content creation, okay? So who are you talking to? More importantly, what do they care about and what's their pain points? Example I always use is if my target audience is realtors, because my target audience isn't buyers. It's not. I've made some educational stuff, but it's more for real estate agents. And I like talking about business. That's who I am. I don't really like saying, here are the 3 steps to buy a house. I'm not super passionate about it anymore. I'd rather talk to you guys how to market and build relationships and promote events, and that's who I am. So that's my brand. But my example that I always use when I talk about pain points and target audience, when COVID first came out, obviously my target audience is real estate agents, so I did a whole series called Producer Plateau, where I gave real estate agents practical advice on how they can build their business completely remote. And I interviewed people because I realized that's a pain point right now. People are scared. How do you do virtual showings? How do you market to your past clients? How do you do all this stuff, right? What's happening with interest rates? So think about what your clients are going through or what your target audience is going through and make content about that. If you identify your target audience, you can go to your profile right now and say, am I speaking to them? And if the answer is no, you got to reevaluate, okay? Last but not least, what is your mission? So I always say, Nike, just do it. Your brand, there's like another kind of layer to your brand that you can create by creating a mission statement. So mine is defeating average by adding value. Think about what yours is, and it doesn't have to be like this unique thing. Same thing with your username or your handle. Like, we all look at list with so-and-so or sell with so-and-so, and they're like, oh, that's not very unique. However, it's unique to the people you're talking to. It might not be unique to this room, but we're staring at each other's content all day. So we're like, oh, I need to make this impactful mission statement and make it unique. No, make it true and impactful. So, all right, I can send that exercise to you guys. I have it written all out. So here are the different types of content. You have short form video, which is the quick reel style stuff. You have long form video, which is more YouTube, IGTV. Anybody remember IGTV? It was a separate app. And then Instagram was like, we're good with this long form stuff. We'll let YouTube kind of take it from here. So you have short form, long form. You have carousels, graphics, photo plus caption. So everybody, don't miss an opportunity to take advantage of a caption if you're just going to post a photo, because people will click see more and they will read through it. You have written post stories, green screen, and voiceover videos. These are super, super impactful. Some of my most viewed videos have been green screen related. So I'll put an article up on my phone and it will show behind me and I'll say, FHA just did, the whole whatever corny thing. Everybody take a picture of this. This is all you need to do. Again, make it super simple. Super, super simple. This is your content plan. 12 videos per month, and guess what? We're not gonna shoot 12 individual videos. We're gonna shoot for 2 hours once a month. And we're gonna have 3 videos a week to post. That's the way I like to do it. Some people like the whole skit, trending audio. I can't do it. Dan is amazing at skits. I can't do it. I can sit and talk serious business crap, but as soon as it's like, oh, Cardi B's song is going viral, so you gotta hop on the bandwagon and do this this shit, I'll start sweating. It will take me hours and hours and hours to record something like that. So know who you are. You don't have to do that. I like to batch content, so I like to shoot once a month, record a bunch of stuff, and then I have content for a month, or sometimes more. 3 stories per day, 12 static posts. So this could either be photos, written, testimonials. So screenshot a review, put it up. Take a picture at a closing, put it up. If you can do 12 of those a month, or in search of a 3-bedroom ranch, and that's all content. It's all content. It doesn't only have to be short form. So here are your different content pillars. So these are different categories of content that'll kind of make things a little bit easier to understand. So you can do, and now you don't need all of these. I just listed out, 12? Right? No. 3 times 3 is 9. I just listed out some popular ones. So you have educational content, that's a pillar. You have market updates, that's a pillar. Client wins, that's a pillar. Testimonials, behind the scenes, local events and community, skits, shows, series, collaboration content. So here are your different pillars. Pick 2 or 3 and you have more than enough, you're gonna have more than enough content, okay? Right. All right, short form content. Everybody knows that this is like the new, this is what everybody's talking about. You got to remember that marketers are always trying to sell you something. So if all the marketers are starting to talk about something, there's some product behind it. So let's not overcomplicate things, but short form content is extremely powerful. Here's the framework to make a viral reel. First, you need a hook, then you need to add value, and then you need to have a call to action. So a perfect example is this, and I'll actually give you perfect examples. So here's some different hooks. If you guys can just take a, actually, I'll include this in the giveaway too. There's different types of hook. By the way, people spend $10,000 to go to masterminds to learn how to script short form content. So this is straight from somebody who went to those. I didn't. I just know people who did, and then they gave me the info. So challenge a common belief. So a good hook here is, this is the hook part. This is supposed to stop the scroll. You don't need a 20% down payment to buy a home. Here's why. Challenge a common belief. These are going to be, these sound super like they're not unique to you guys. That's okay. You're not, unless you're trying to recruit or build an office or sell a real estate service or coaching, you shouldn't be trying to talk to other realtors unless you're marketing a listing, right? So it's okay if you've heard 1,000 of these because you're trying to speak to the people that haven't, your target audience. So this is a good type of hook. The next type is ask a compelling question. So how much do you really need for a down payment? You'll be surprised. That's going to stop me from scrolling, and I know the answer, right? Ever wonder why your rent keeps going up but your landlord's mortgage stays the same? It's like, maybe I should watch this video. Another thing that you have to understand is you have to go really wide in the beginning of the video. Don't be too specific, or don't narrow your audience down too much. Don't say, are you looking to buy a house in Wantagh that's listed above $1 million that has 6 bedrooms? You lost 90% of the people in the world. 99% of the people in the world. So are you looking to buy a house that's beautiful and new construction? Come take a look at this house. You see the difference? It's going to keep the people for an extra second or two to try and get them through the whole video. This is what separates the pros from just people who are just winging it. Promise value. So here are 3 programs that let you buy a home with almost no money down. This is one hack that could save you $20,000 on your mortgage. I'm going to show you the fastest way to increase promising value. Okay? Create urgency. Home prices are about to change. Here's what you need to know. This is good for like trending stuff, rates. Last one, I think. Call out the audience. So if you're tired of renting, this is for you. Right? It's not, are you renting in the boroughs and you want to move out to Long Island and you're looking for your dream home with good school? You lost everybody. Or, hi, my name is Eric Braun with, lost them. Right? So it's wide and then you go narrow. Very important. Okay, to piggyback on Dan's presentation, guess what? You can use AI to help you script all of this stuff. Because guess who has also attended those trainings and has read all that material? ChatGPT. So I'm going to give you guys some prompts that you can use to either re-script the video that you scripted or just have ChatGPT spit out a script if you give it an idea. So there's no excuses anymore, okay? Here are those prompts. So this is full scripting. So you just give it an idea. So I need a short form video script for TikTok, Instagram Reel, targeting home buyers. The topic is, insert topic. Hook, follow this format. Hook, value, call to action. This is the recipe for a virality. You can put the goal of the video. You can use it. You can say this like Ryan Serhant. Say this like Alex Hormozy. Say this like me, right? And you can train it on how you speak and everything. So that's how you can do full scripting, or what I prefer is I like to script out my content, write out a general, just like this presentation. I write out all the content, and then I ask ChatGPT to make it sharper, fix my grammar, make me sound smart, use a light tone. This is what I prefer, because ChatGPT will kind of spit out stuff that doesn't sound like you sometimes. So I say, I've written a short form video script. Please, I want you to rewrite and optimize it to make it more engaging, high converting, and formatted for short form content. Follow this structure. Here's my script. And I'll show you the results of this is really powerful. So we do 2 content days a month in our company. We have 63 loan officers. Not everybody does content, but we have a good amount of loan officers. And they've all been posting more content than they've ever been because they just need to come up with ideas. We did a boot camp on how to use ChatGPT to script the videos, and then they're held accountable because I know I need to shoot content once a month, twice a month, and they have enough content for their 12 videos for the month, okay? All right, so keyboard's not working, but I remember the last slide. The last thing that we want to do is social media is social. Okay, so if you just post content, you're not getting the full fruit of social media. I know these 2 realtors that every single time somebody follows them, they reach out to them and say, hey, I'm here if you ever want to buy a house. I saw you like this video. Were you interested in buying ever? And it's relational, it's not spammy. They followed you, they entered your ecosystem. Make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're shooting people at digital door knocking. And guess what? It's a lot less awkward and safe. Right? No, what did I say? The tank top with the marinara sauce on it, popping his head out like I don't want to sell, right? So just remember, when somebody likes your stuff, they're entering your ecosystem. When somebody follows you, they're entering your ecosystem. Make sure you're taking advantage of that opportunity, and at the very least shooting them a DM and saying, here's what I do. Let me know if you ever need anything. And guess what? Send a voice memo, send a video, however personable you want to make it. If that's not your style, text it. An actual DM is fine. People are going to get to know you through your content anyway. But once you enter somebody's DMs, the likelihood of them seeing your content increases significantly. That's the way the algorithm works. So if you have a conversation with somebody in your DMs, that person is going to see your stuff all the time. Okay? The Facebook group thing is that this is the engagement part of the thing. The Facebook group thing, please do that. But, all right, so this has been a long day. I know I'm starting to lose you guys. Are you guys here?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, I want to thank all the speakers again. Let's give them all a round of applause. You have Elena, Nicole, Dan. I want to thank our sponsors once more. So you have Nicole DeMarzo, Pamela Zone, Tier 1 Abstract and Suris. If you guys need title, and they're both resources. They're like me. We lead with value first. Don't send me a deal, ask me a question. We'll work on a relationship long term. So I know both of them have a servant's heart. If you guys need anything, please reach out to them, even if it's just a question, okay? And I want to also give a round of applause for you guys, because you guys showed up today. You took time out. Go ahead, you can clap. You took time out of your day. You are the very few people that work on your business, not also in your business, and that's going to, have a ripple effect on your career. So thank you guys for coming to AgentU, and we'll see you next time. Drake, please.